Hi, hello. We are going to start the Illumicrate blog now. I just finished filming my Evernight wrap up, and I think I want to spend about an hour or so reading the first chapter of my Illumicrate books, and seeing if there are any that I'm just really not interested in that I can get rid of from the get-go. I don't really want to spend more than an hour doing this, so we're going to try and be quick about it. And I will come back and let you know after this if I'm keeping any of them or not. So yeah, let's get going on this. Okay, I've just finished reading at least the first few pages of all of them, and since June is Pride Month, I have decided that we are definitely reading these two. Oh, I should also say that unfortunately for me, all of them were good enough for me to want to keep. So we have 9 books to get through. And these two, I'm pretty sure, are definitely yay. So we're going to read both of them in June, and then I'm going to spin this wheel to decide what the third book is going to be, because I think I want to do 3 books per video. So here we go. Spinning for the last one. Oh. We got Capitania by Cassandra James. This was one that I was positive I was going to get rid of because I'm pretty sure it's YA, but it ended up being a compelling first few pages. So I guess it's good that this is in here, because maybe I still won't like it and will get rid of it without finishing it. Who knows? Yeah. It will probably be... Ooh, sorry, didn't mean to bump you. It'll probably be like a week or so before I start reading these books, because I still need to finish The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King, and my husband and I have a buddy read that we're working on too, so I kind of want to finish those 2 up before I start working on these 3. And I'm going to try and get the audio from the library, so if I have to wait for them, that adds to the time I can start. So I'm gonna turn you off now and go see if any of these 3 are available on audio from my library, and get an idea of when I'll be able to start reading them. So yeah. Hello and happy Sunday. If you hear fans, that's because all of the fans are running because it's hot here. I am laid up in bed for the foreseeable future because I had surgery 2 weeks ago and I'm still in the healing process. I've been on crutches, and if I'm being honest, the crutches suck worse than the surgery itself did. So I have been reading a lot. I have not read any of the Illumicrate books that I picked, but I got the audio from the library for this one? Capitania? Or Capitania? I'm not positive how you pronounce it. It doesn't tell me anything about her family and how they're mixed. I don't really need to know. Honestly, that's personal information. She can decide if she wants to share that. But she apparently now lives in Orlando, Florida, and spends her days cooking Colombian food. So, I'm not positive how to pronounce this. I'm leaning towards Capitania, but I could be wrong. So, I have the audiobook for this out, and I think I'm going to start it today. I don't think I'll be able to finish it. It's kind of long. But I am going to listen to this for an hour or two while I play some video games and decompress. And then after that, I think I'm going to start editing another video, because it is Sunday and I try to post them on Sundays. But right now, I think the only videos I have to edit are vlogs, and those take a while to edit. I do need to film some other stuff, but I think that might be a tomorrow me problem. I don't think I have it in me right now to film all of that stuff, because I need to film a June wrap-up, I need to film my tarot readathon TBR, and I need to, well, I don't need to do this one, but I would like to do, they call it the mid-year freakout tag, and I think I want to call it just a mid-year check-in. I don't really like the term freakout that much, but I need to film those things. And I am currently, I don't really want to look like this in 3 sit-down videos, and I'm not going to take a shower until much later when my husband can help me, since I can't stand right now. So yeah, this is the check-in. I am hoping to get like 50% of the way through this book today, and then I'll check in again and let you know how I'm feeling about it. This is the one that I'm the most concerned about. Like, I don't think I'm going to enjoy it nearly as much as the other ones that I have, but this is the only one that I have an audio for right now. And I'm gonna be quite honest, if the book is not on my Kindle, I guess my e-reader, I don't really want to advertise Kindles, if I'm not reading the book in e-format, it's really hard for me to focus on. My wrists hurt a lot. My wrists and my arms all hurt a lot from using the crutches, so holding up a big book is not fun right now. So I've been listening to a lot of audiobooks this month, and this one is no different. These books are hefty. They're all hardcovers. Yeah, I'm gonna let you go and start this book, and hopefully I'll have a good update for you in a few hours. So yeah, bye. I forgot something I wanted to talk about. I have talked about my debt payoff journey in my videos some. I don't know that I've ever talked about the extent of our debt, but I currently have around $40,000 of student loan debt. I have been actively paying that off for the last year or two. I finished grad school almost exactly 2 years ago. So my loans went into repayment 6 months after I graduated, and I had been paying them, and then they put them back into forbearance for some reason. It wasn't related to me. It was like federal level type stuff that put them back into forbearance. And I have been dreading the day that forbearance ends, because they took away the saves payment plan. The save plan, the repay plan, I can't remember what it was called, but basically it was the one where if you make your monthly payment, then your loans won't accrue any interest while you're making those payments. That didn't really work out for me when I was on them, because they were not taking my auto pay, and I was unaware that they weren't taking my auto pay, so my loans were accruing interest that they weren't supposed to be, because they thought I wasn't making payments. And when I realized that, like a month or 2 in, I contacted them and I was like, hey, I don't know why these auto payments aren't working. And they were incredibly unhelpful. They did not help me fix it. I ended up having to just set a reminder for myself every single month to go in and pay it, instead of letting the auto pay take the wheel. And because of that, I had accrued over $1,000 in interest, because of how many different loans I had and the different rates that they were at. Well, I have been paying those, and I've gotten them down to $36,000 or something in the last year, and I've paid off all of the interest that accrued, and I was gearing up to have monthly payments starting in August when the forbearance end. But today, my mom called me, and she and my dad had also taken out student loans for me, but I guess they were only in my dad's name. And when the student loan company found out my dad had died, they forgave the loans that they had. But that was after my mom had used a significant chunk of the life insurance money to pay off some of those loans. And then she was making regular monthly payments for like a year or two before we found out that they could be forgiven. And I guess they forgave all of the amount from the point that he died to now. So she got a check in the mail for a very large sum of money and is going to help me pay off my loans right now. And like, this is like a life-changing amount of money and a life-changing amount of debt being knocked out. As right now, I think we're at like total, including the loans, like $87,000 of debt or something. We're about to add more because of this surgery. Because my doctor apparently can't do the surgery at the hospital that my insurance covers. So I have to pay my entire out-of-pocket maximum this year. And if I don't get my other leg worked on this year, then I have to pay that maximum again next year. So we're about to take on at least $6,000 more of debt. Potentially more if the schedule doesn't work out. So the fact that I'm able to get rid of these student loans and not have to worry about them is just a huge weight lifted off of our finances. And like, every time I do our finances, every month I look at our paychecks and I'm like, well, this is how much we can pay off. And then at the end of the month, I tally up our debt and it's barely moved. Like, most months we end up paying off like $1,000, if that, but like, at least one of the credit cards always goes up because we're having to put so much onto loans and we're having to put so much into like interest and minimum payments for other stuff. So like, not having to worry about this $37,000 is life-changing. And it makes it possible for us to probably be done paying off this debt within 2 years rather than like 3 to 5 years, if that, because the interest would start accruing again on those loans. So yeah, it's been a good Sunday. That was great news, and the best part is she'll still have money left over after paying off my loans because she had paid more than what I owe in that time. And she can put that into her savings and get her house redone because there is like significant water damage in the garage, and she wants to redo the kitchen because it's not laid out in a way that's great for her, and like change where the back door is and stuff like that. And it's incredible. You know, it sucks having a dead parent, but if this is what we get out of it, I mean, it still sucks. It's always gonna suck that he's dead, but at least we're like financially taken care of to some extent. So yeah, that was the update. I don't have anything else to say. Hello and happy almost bedtime. I have moved locations. I don't know if I mentioned this before, I don't think I did, but my partner and I, are dog sitting for a friend the entire month of July, so I am at their house. I cannot walk while holding things, so he is currently downstairs feeding the dogs and letting them run around outside and stuff while I am laid up in bed already. I ended up getting to like 70-ish% of the way through Capitana. I found out the pronunciation. The audiobook says Capitana. So, if that is wrong, I'm sorry. Maybe review the audiobook if it's wrong. So, I don't think I gave you the plot, which, to be fair, I didn't really know much about what it was about anyways. When I started reading it, I knew it was about pirates. And I think that was part of why I thought I wasn't going to like it, because I thought that our main characters were pirates. They are not. They are chasing pirates who have taken their queen hostage. So, we have two main characters. I think this is going to end up being a sort of romance, but not like too spicy. Nothing spicy has happened yet. But we have Zamina, or I think it's Yamina. It's Z-I... Is it a Z? No, an X. It's Ximena, I think. I'm not reading it physically, so I might have misspelled the name. I looked at the synopsis to figure out how it was spelled, but that might be wrong. I think it's Ximena. And the other main character is Dante. And they're like rivals at school. And so Yamina, who is like the main character, she's the one that we get the most perspective from. She is the daughter of pirates who ended up getting, I think they got executed by the royalty, the queen maybe. They were like guards who turned into pirates, and she is treated differently because of this. She and her sister are treated differently and poorly because their parents were known pirates. So Yamina is trying to become, I think it's called a cazador. I'm not clear on the spelling of that one. I don't remember that one. So I think it's a cazador. And she's trying to get a cape so that she can be like a royal guard, so that people might finally respect her. And throughout this whole thing, she is dealing with classmates and teachers because she's in La Academia. She's at like the guard academy or whatever, and she's training and learning how to be a guard, essentially. Her sister, I don't remember her name, it starts with an M. She's not a huge character because she ends up getting taken to prison within the first 50 pages or something, and it's not clear to me why. I think maybe she went out one night with Dante, and because of the prejudice they have against her because of who her parents were, I think what they did while they were out got her in prison while everyone else was let free. I don't really remember that much. But they do this, and Yamina's not allowed to see her sister because of who they are. They're like, no, you're going to scheme with your sister and get her out. Y'all are pirates. Why would we let you do that? And she ends up going to the academy, and they're training, and when they're training and doing like practice ship battles out in the ocean, a random ship shows up, and it's not part of the practice, and they're all really confused, and it has a message in it, and I think it said, "You've been warned." And later on, like that same night, the city gets attacked by pirates, and they take the queen hostage, and the only way they'll give the queen back is if the guards bring the city's entire store of silver and give it to them with no trouble. And they're like, no, we don't bargain with pirates. And they're like, okay, we're gonna kill your queen then. And so the rest of the book is them like going and trying to get the queen back. I think it's okay. It definitely reads very young, and I'm almost 30. I don't really care for YA that much anymore. Some of it's pretty good, but other ones, it's hard for me to suspend my disbelief in a lot of situations in YA now. So I'm not having the best time, but it's also not a bad time, right? Like, I don't have any, like, big problems with this book. So I don't see this getting higher than a 3-star, but I also don't see it getting lower than a 3-star, because, like, it's fine, but it's not great, and I might not continue the series. Which, by the way, I did not know that this was part of a series, because when I look it up on Storygraph, it doesn't list it. It doesn't have the series title. But then when I read the synopsis, it says it's the first in a duology. I'm sorry? But yeah, I don't know that I'll continue the series at this point unless something wild happens in the last 25%. I'm probably not gonna keep this one. I'm not mad that I read it, but I also could have spent this time reading something else that I knew I would enjoy more. So, I don't know. I likely will not order the sequel when it comes out, and if my library happens to have it and I'm out of stuff to read, I might pick it up, but I'm probably not going to put it on my series spreadsheet because I'm not sure that I'm invested enough to want to know what happens after this one. Yeah, that's the update. I think the next one I'm going to read after this is probably The Phoenix Keeper because my mom and I want to buddy read it. But that'll depend on when she's ready and if I end up getting the audio for this one or the other one out from the library in a timely manner. Yeah, I think that's it for my update. I'm gonna go to bed after my partner's done feeding the dogs and they're all in bed. So, good night. Hello and good evening. I have an update on Capitana for you. I finished this book, I think, 2 days ago. I finished it on the last day of June, and it ended up just being okay, just like I figured it would. I liked it, and I think if my library ever got the sequel, I wouldn't be opposed to listening to it if I had time on my hands and it happened to be available. But I am not going to go out of my way to get the sequel, and I am not going to keep this one. I ended up giving it just 3 stars, which isn't bad, it's not an awful rating. I just didn't feel like I had any attachment to this book at all, which is not always like a thing that needs to happen. Like when I'm reading thrillers, I don't need to be attached to the characters because I know most of them are gonna die anyways. Like I don't need to care about the people, I just need to care about the mystery. But for this book, the mystery was not a huge aspect of it, and the mystery was like finding out how her parents became pirates and stuff like that. And it was not a huge part of the book. So I think maybe if that were a bigger part, I might have liked it more. I do tend to love mysteries, but overall, it was a fine book. I don't think that the plot changed much from the time that I talked to you to the time that I finished it, because I was already like 70% of the way through. So I'm not going to tell you more about the plot, just that they ended up going after the pirates and finding them. And I don't want to tell you more than that at the risk of spoiling it in case you do want to read it. So that's the update. 1 book down, 1 book unhauled, unfortunately. I'm not sure which one I'm going to start next. I am currently reading books for Tarot Readathon, and I kind of want to just focus on those because I'm enjoying what I'm reading for those a lot, and I do not have the audiobooks for either of the other 2 Illumicrate books. So, probably won't start one of those for another week or 2. This vlog is going to take forever to finish. My mom and I are buddy reading The Phoenix Keeper, so when she's ready to read that, I will pick it up, whether I have the audiobook or not. Might try to squeeze it in for a prompt in Tarot Readathon. I am like blasting through the prompts I already drew. I'm almost done with one. I have, sorry, my head towel's not doing what it's supposed to do. We'll fix that when I'm done. I'm almost done with one of them, and I've gotten the audio for 2 or 3 of the rest of the ones I picked, and one of them is really short, which, I mean, the prompt is the shortest book on my TBR, so of course it's short. And then I think the other 2 that I have audio for are short, but not as short as the shortest book. Like, the shortest book is only 150 pages, and these 2 books are closer to 300. So, I think within a week or 2, I could probably have most of my Tarot Readathon books that I've chosen already done, and then I can try and squeeze in those 2 books for other prompts. Oh, so today is July 2nd. It is a Wednesday. I've gone to work every day this week, and I am exhausted. I was about to fall asleep literally all day today. My whole body hurts, and I would really love to take tomorrow off, but I don't have enough PTO to. So if I can just make it through tomorrow and make it to Friday when we have a holiday, that would be great. I am definitely taking more painkillers than I had been, just because everything hurts. Everything is sore, except for the leg that I got worked on. It still hurts when I try to put weight on it, but it's not like aching and throbbing like the rest of my body is. So that's the update. I'm gonna go and edit my TBR video so I can get it posted tonight, and then finish Witchcraft for Wayward Girls for the Tarot Readathon. I think I only have like an hour left of it, so I'm gonna try and finish it tonight and play Tears of the Kingdom while I do it. So yeah, good night. Hello. I don't know when the last time I talked to you in this vlog was. I have a feeling it was like a week or two ago, because I finished Capitana I think on like June 30th. It is now July 13th. It is my husband's birthday, so we have been celebrating that today. I am here to tell you that I am starting my next book, The Phoenix Keeper. Ooh, that was a terrible shot. So sorry. I am starting The Phoenix Keeper tonight. I am probably going to read 2 or 3 chapters of it, and then I want to switch to either Good Girl, Bad Blood, or Love and Other Conspiracies, because those are really small books that I have, and I wanted to read more of my tarot readathon TBR instead of an ebook, because the ebook I'm currently reading is not on my TBR. So I don't know too much about this book. I think it's technically a romance, like a sapphic romance, but it's about a head phoenix keeper at a world-renowned zoo for magical creatures. And she is concerned with conserving the phoenixes, which are critically endangered birds. And she, I guess, has an issue with a griffin keeper who is her arch rival from college. It sounds like this griffin keeper wants to turn the phoenixes into a performer rather than a passive conservation exhibit. So it sounds like maybe it's enemies to lovers. Maybe. I've heard some bad reviews that the romance is not all that great, and it's not really... It's not that it's not written well, it's just that it seemed like people didn't believe the romance. Like there was not enough lead up to it to justify the end that we get to. So I will have to see if that's true and if I feel the same. And I hope I don't feel that way. I hope I enjoy this book because it sounds really interesting, and it would be another tick against Illumicrate if I end up getting rid of it. But we'll have to wait and see. I probably will not update for a few days because I'm keeping up with my mom, and I think she said she got through chapter 2 tonight, so that's probably where I'll get to, which is only like 30 pages in or something. Yeah, it's just over 30 pages in. So I'm probably just gonna keep up with her as she's reading while I focus on other stuff. And I don't really think I'll do another update until close to the 50% mark. So it might be a few days before you see me again, but that is the plan. I need to go do my physical therapy exercises and then get to reading. So, yeah. Oh, I didn't update on physical therapy. I have gotten my stitches out of my incisions. I'm able to wash my leg. I can walk mostly unassisted. Having a crutch does still help, but if I am in my big boot that I had last summer from my broken foot, I don't have to have the crutches. Having at least one of them does help avoid falls, especially if I'm going up and down stairs, but I can mostly walk without them. So that's great. I've only had the stitches out since Wednesday, and it's now Sunday. And I did not expect to see this big of a change in my mobility after starting PT, because I only had my first appointment with that on Thursday. So it's only been 4 days, and I can already walk, which is a vast improvement from what I was doing at PT on Thursday. I could not walk without my crutches. So my muscle is like rapidly healing. I'm hoping I can be completely crutch free in a week or two, but that might be a bit of a stretch. So we'll see. I'm hoping that doing the exercises will help a lot, and they have like massaged my leg while they were there, and that felt really nice. I don't know if it did a ton for my muscles, but it felt really good. And then we did they put a heat pack on it to warm it up before we did the exercises, and then after the exercises they put like electrolysis things on the back of my calf. I'm not positive what they're called, but he said that it was supposed to like make your muscle spasm enough to like wake it up, but not so much that you're like in excruciating pain. So they did that with an ice pack wrapped around my leg for the end. But yeah, it's going well. I hope this book will also go well, but I'll be back when I have an update. We're back. I am about halfway through The Phoenix Keeper, and I am liking it. I'm liking it quite a bit. It's not like nearly as high stakes as I was led to believe, and I think I would categorize it as like cozy fantasy if I had to give it anything other than fantasy as a descriptor. I have not gotten to any part of the romance yet. I don't remember what I've told you. Maybe I should give you a little synopsis. So, The Phoenix Keeper is about, surprise, surprise, a Phoenix Keeper at a zoo. And the zoo is like inspired by the San Diego Zoo. At least I think that's what she said, what the author said in their, I don't know what to call it. It's like a letter that they put in all the special editions. Every time you get a special edition from most places, the author puts a letter in the front. And in this letter, it says that they were inspired by the San Diego Zoo, I'm pretty sure. And this Phoenix Keeper is trying their best to get a breeding program at their zoo. And for like 10 plus years, they just haven't gotten any transfers, haven't gotten any movement. And so their breeding program buildings are like derelict and not up to snuff, because they aren't giving funding to a program that's obviously not bringing people and donors in. But the phoenixes that the Phoenix Keeper has been watching, her name is Ayla. I'll call her Ayla from now on. The phoenixes that Ayla has been watching at another zoo that are about to hatch end up getting stolen by poachers. And because of that, the IMLS, I think is what it's called, is like an international magical wild creature thing. They're the ones who decide where the breeding programs go and where each phoenix should be placed for the best odds of survival of the species. And they are restructuring after losing a female phoenix and I think like 4 or 5 eggs that were about to hatch. And because of that, our Phoenix Keeper becomes, sorry, I need to move a little bit. The Phoenix Keeper, Ayla, becomes very worried that they're going to take away her phoenix, and she ends up writing an email to the head of this group that decides where all of the phoenixes end up and stuff, asking that they don't move her and instead bring a male phoenix to their zoo, because female phoenixes are more territorial than males are. So, we're halfway through the book, and that person has responded. It took months for her to respond, and they are considering bringing a male phoenix to the zoo. So no romance has happened yet. There are like hints of it. Like Ayla is obsessed with a dragon keeper named Connor, but she also has like mentioned having a crush on the griffin keeper that she now hates while they were in college, because I guess all of these people went to college together. Or a lot of them went to college together, and now she hates that Griffin Keeper instead of having a crush on them. So I'm not really sure what's going to happen. I feel like the Griffin Keeper is who she ends up with based on what I've heard, but as of right now, halfway through the book, they both hate each other. So we'll see if that happens. I don't know yet if this is going to be a keep or sell, but right now it's leaning towards keep. I will say that there are like some pacing issues with the book. So they keep acting like months and months have passed, but it's really only been like a week, or they say 2 months has passed and they've done nothing. So I'm not really sure about the pacing. I don't know if this is the author's first book and maybe that's just something that they need to work on. It's unclear. But I probably won't finish it today. I would like to finish it today, but I don't think I have time. I have a bunch of other stuff I need to take care of. And my mom is really far behind and we're buddy reading it, so I don't want to finish the book while she's still on like chapter 10. So, we'll see what happens. It is Sunday and our AC went out on Friday. And lucky for us, we are dog sitting, so we have somewhere else we can go that does have functioning AC, but it just really sucks because like we do our laundry here, we do our meal prep here, and then we pretty much like go over to the dogs to sleep. We go over there periodically throughout the day too and spend a few hours here and there with them to let them outside and play and feed them, but for the most part we're sitting in our house that has no AC. And it's very hot. I think the thermostat right now says it's 79 and I generally keep it around 70. And in the winter we keep it at like 64 or something. We like to be cold. So this kind of sucks. Yeah, I think that's all the updates I have. I've been doing physical therapy for 2 weeks now, and I can now walk without a crutch or a boot or a brace. I'm still wearing an ankle brace because that's what my PT told me to do, but I don't need it to walk. I can move around without assistance now. So that's pretty good. I think that's moving pretty quick. It sounded like they were surprised that I was walking so good the last time I came in. I have another appointment tomorrow, so we'll see what they say tomorrow. But overall, I'm recovering. I did find out today when I weighed myself that my bone mass has lost like a pound since the last time I weighed myself before surgery, and I don't know if that's related to surgery or not. If it keeps going down, I'm gonna ask my podiatrist if that's something I need to be concerned about or if that's just like normal for after your surgery, because what I'm finding online is saying that it doesn't necessarily mean that there's a problem, it just means that your body is consuming calcium cells faster than your bones, or consuming your bone cells faster than your bones regenerate, which if my body has been consuming them as like part of recovery or like directing the calcium somewhere else as part of recovery, that would make sense. And I've never had a problem with that, and I don't have a family history of like osteoporosis or anything, so I don't know if that's an issue that I should be really concerned about or not. I'm hoping not. I'm hoping it's just related to surgery, and once I'm done healing, it'll go back to where it was, or at least stop going down. Yeah, I don't know. I think my phone's about to die, so I'm actually gonna go this time and read some more, maybe edit a video. I think the next time you'll see me is when I finish Phoenix Keeper. Hello and happy Saturday. I'm coming at you with an update on A Dark and Drowning Tide by Allison Saft. I am now at the 41% mark, and this is a little more memorable than it was at the beginning. I can tell you a little bit more. So our two, well, I guess there's one main character and then one side character that we get more from than the rest of the side characters. We have Lorelai, who is the person whose point of view we're following from, and then Sylvia, who I think is going to become a love interest at some point. But they are on an expedition, I guess, for the king. I have only read that part in the synopsis, and I haven't gotten that from the actual book, so that's not very clear. But this turns into like a murder mystery because the person, I think their name is Ziegler, who was the lead of the expedition and like Sylvia and Lorelai's mentors, they end up getting murdered at the very beginning of the expedition. And I think Lorelai has like a nightmare or something, and when Lorelai wakes up, she realizes that their mentor has been murdered. And she tells Sylvia, and it becomes like, I think they decide not to investigate because they're all stuck on the ship together. Something like that. I don't know. But Lorelai ends up investigating on her own, and Sylvia is upset that Lorelai has left her out because they both like were there right after Ziegler was murdered. And then somebody tries to murder Lorelai, and Lorelai thinks she knows who it is, but that person ends up not being the person who murdered her, and all of this other stuff. And they eventually have to get off the ship because it can't go any further because the water is too shallow. So they end up getting on boats, like little boats, two per person, two people per boat is what I was trying to say. And they almost die again. And I think they called it a lingworm. It was some kind of magical creature that almost killed them. It capsized all their boats. They lost a lot of their supplies and almost all of their money. And they end up in a village. And at first, the villagers like don't like Lorelai. I can't remember exactly what she is. I think she might be an elf or something like that, and they don't like her because of that. But then Sylvia is from this region, and she is considered like a moon princess or something by these people, and once they realize who Sylvia is, they stop giving them trouble. And that's about where I left off. But I am about to go do dishes and laundry and some other stuff and listen to the rest of the book. I think I only have like 3-ish hours left or something, so I'm going to finish it today. And then I will be back with my final update for this book. Right now, it's not feeling like more than a 3, but the murder mystery aspect did bump it up a notch for me. I really love murder mysteries. As soon as a murder is introduced in a book, it immediately gets another star because I want to know what happened. I want to know why this person died. So this will get finished today, and then I will be picking the next 3 that I'm going to read. And I've gotten the audios for 3 or 4 of them from the library. They're just like waiting for me to actually take them. So I'm hoping that the ones I get on the wheel are those, so that I can bust through those a little faster than this last round. But yeah, I'm going to do my chores, and you'll probably see me again today. Hi again. It's the same day, and we are done with A Dark and Drowning Tide. This ended up being just okay for me, if I'm being completely honest. I did finally remember the characters' names and finally figure out what the story actually was. And the murder mystery aspect was fun, but it was not enough for me to love this book, which is a shame because, like, look at these covers. Look at the back of it. Like, it's such a nice cover, and then the edges. It's just such a pretty book. However, it just wasn't for me. So, I think I'm gonna give this one 3 stars because, like, it wasn't bad, but there wasn't anything great about it for me. So, let's gather up the other books from the vlog and do a tally. These are the 3 that we read. I think the only one I'm planning to keep is The Phoenix Keeper, and that is dependent on whether or not the next book by this author is one that I enjoy. I think it should be coming soon. I think it was the August Illumicrate book or the July Illumicrate book. I'm not sure. I just know that they did another one with her, or them. I'm not sure what their pronouns are. But that means we are 1 for 3, I think is the saying. So I'm only keeping 1 right now. And the odds aren't looking good for Illumicrate. I might just end up canceling this one before I even get through it. We'll have to wait and see how the next round goes. But I am planning to start that round probably in September because I have a big TBR that I need to get through for the Far Far Away Stampathon. And I also think I have like 5 other books that I'm in the middle of right now. So the next installment of this like game, whatever you want to call it, will not come out probably until like October. And I'm hoping to have Illumicrate finished by the end of the year. So one of the vlogs might have to have 4, or we might end up splitting it and doing 2 in one vlog and 2 in the other, because I'm getting another Illumicrate book this month. But I think a couple of these next ones might redeem it. And if they do, then I will probably keep Illumicrate technically, but they have a pretty good skip policy, and I will just be skipping very liberally instead of letting the books come. So yeah. As a reminder, I'm gonna flip you around and show you what's. We have these 6 books left, and I have this one, and this one out from the library right now, so I'm really hoping at least one of those are the next round. But yeah. So far, not great. Hopefully it gets better. I don't really have anything else to say about these books other than why do they have to be such pretty books and such not great content? I don't know. Thanks for watching. I'll be back soon with another video and hopefully another installment of the book box Showdown, I guess is what I'm calling it now. I don't know. Anyways, I'm gonna sign off now. Thanks for watching. I hope you're having a good time wherever you are, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye. Oh, I forgot the emoji. If you want to leave a comment but don't have anything to say, leave me a bird emoji for the Phoenix Keeper, since that's the only one that might make the cut. Bye for real this time.